This is my current desk situation and this is my current hand situation. I finally finished my portfolio. Hi guys, it's me, Ale. It's been so long since I've been in front of a camera and I'm feeling kind of nervous right now, but I think I can finally say that I am back for good, hopefully. Now that my exams are finally over and I got the results I was expecting and I can finally say that I got into university, I thought that I would show you guys my interior architecture portfolio, the one I used to apply to university. While I was making my portfolio, since I'm an international student, I didn't really get much help from teachers who actually knew how to make a portfolio, so I found the 2 videos that I found on YouTube to be very helpful while I was making it, and so I thought that my video would help you guys as well. I'm going to link the 2 videos that I found very helpful while making my portfolio in the description down below, so you guys could check those out too. And I'm just going to get into explaining you guys what my portfolio is all about. But first, I kind of want to give an overview on what universities I applied to and what their conditions were regarding the portfolio. So I applied to University of Westminster, Middlesex University. I applied to 2 courses at Middlesex University because they had interior design and interior architecture, and I also applied to a foundation course at London Metropolitan and at University of the Arts London. All universities besides UAL asked for a portfolio from me, and I did get conditional offers from all of them after I sent them my portfolio. University of the Arts though, they asked me to go to an interview in the UK and I wasn't gonna do that. I wasn't gonna go to that university anyway, so I just rejected their offer. For the universities that asked me for the portfolio, they had quite different requirements. For University of Westminster, for example, I think it was the easiest portfolio to make because London Metropolitan and Middlesex asked me to also write the date of the piece, to write the dimensions. I think I don't really remember which one asked me for what, but I'm going to show you today the portfolio I did for Westminster because that is the offer that I accepted. On the first slide of my portfolio, I wrote the name of the course followed by portfolio, and I also wrote my full name, even though they already know which portfolio they're looking at. It's kind of like a nice way to begin the portfolio so that they're not looking at the first piece right away. I tried to categorize my portfolio in a way that it flows smoothly and everything's not all over the place. So I started with like drawings, paintings, then I think I did photos, and then actual design projects. And one piece of advice that I have for everyone who's making a portfolio is to start with a statement piece and end with a statement piece, something that you're very proud of, something that kind of strikes the attention of the person that's looking at your portfolio. My first piece, and what I consider to be my statement piece, is a digital drawing of a city that I named City Lights. I kind of gave a title to all of my pieces because I thought that it's a nice way to kind of introduce the piece. I use this as my first piece because it's something that catches people's attention. It is very colorful. The message, also you can read the text there. I'm not going to read it to you because what's the point if you can read it as well. I thought it had a nice message to convey. I didn't want to include digital art at first because I thought it doesn't really have anything to do with interior architecture, but the thing is, they don't want to see things that have to do with the course necessarily. They want to see the way you think, the way you create, and they're looking for as many mediums as possible, so just show them everything that you have. For the second piece, I wanted to show them that I can create something unrealistic, like an illustration, a drawing out of something realistic, and kind of add my own touch to it. So I used a picture of my friend Stella. I don't think she knows that. I don't think I told her. I put her in my portfolio, but now you know. Oh, and I don't think I said this before, but try to add a description for every piece in your portfolio because they like to see your thought process, the way you created it, what you want the piece to convey. Try to think about what you would like to see in a portfolio. You wouldn't really want someone to just throw drawings at you. You would want to kind of know the story behind the drawing. Moving on to a different medium, I added some ink drawings and some pencil. I say some, just one ink drawing and one pencil drawing. I did these very long ago. They're very old drawings. I don't even think I can draw like this anymore, honestly. And the last medium is acrylic. I added painting I did on an A2 size canvas. I mentioned that I did it on an A2 size canvas because I wanted them to know that I can work on bigger scales, I guess, because it is something when you work on an A4 piece of paper and something else when you work on an A2 piece of paper. It takes way more work, way more concentration, way more time, you know. Then I added some of my pictures I took of interior designs. I didn't want to add this at first, but then I realized I don't really have that many pieces if I don't include these, so I included these anyway, and I think they liked it. I mean, as I said, they like to see different mediums, different types of creation. First, I added some pictures of my room because I'm really proud of, you know, the way I decorated my room, and I wanted them to kind of see that I can do well at interior design. And the rest of the photos are of places that I visited and I took pictures of because I really liked them. I have a design of a library, then some architecture pictures that I took, and I made this category pink design because I didn't know where to include these pictures and they were all pink. So moving on to a bigger, more complex piece of my portfolio, I made a dance practice room design. I heard that they like it when you give yourself a challenge. So I gave myself a challenge by designing a dance practice room with 4 different walls, like 4 walls made of different materials. Because I heard they like to see your thought process, I decided to write everything down on paper, every step, and to describe kind of every wall that I was going to include. So you can see that I scanned these 2 pages of my notebook. Another step of this dance practice room project was to sketch some furniture. I wanted them to see that I have different ideas, that I'm not only going for, you know, one sofa design or one lighting design. I wanted them to see that there's some variety in the way I think. And finally, I put everything together and actually made the dance practice room in Photoshop. I actually wanted to sketch this out first, but it didn't work out, so I just made it in Photoshop because I am more confident in my Photoshop skills than in my drawing skills. That sounds really bad because I'm a future interior architecture student. I will probably have to draw a lot, but after my own design, I thought that I would add some designs that I got inspired by and some architecture that I got inspired by. So first I made a page of neutral interior design inspiration. As you can tell, I tried to group them nicely, not put them all over the place in one page, just so it looks more neat and, you know, clean. And I did the same for my second page of interior design inspiration, which is my pink interior design inspiration. I was obsessed with pink while I was making my portfolio, and you know, I still am. Pink is a great color. I found these, I think, on Pinterest and Tumblr mostly, so if you're looking for, you know, pictures to add to your portfolio, those are your best bets at finding interior design or whatever you're looking for. For architecture inspiration, I thought I would include the name of the buildings as well, so that whoever is looking at my portfolio can tell that I'm actually interested in these buildings. I've always wanted to design a cafe, so I thought, why not add it to my portfolio? Why not design it right now? And since it is the piece I am most proud about, I added it at the end of my portfolio, so it can end on a good note. On the first page, I made a floor plan. First of all, I wanted to make the floor plan digitally with a floor plan kind of app, but I heard that they don't want you to use programs for designing anything in your portfolio because they want to introduce you to these programs. They want to teach you techniques that you will have to use in the future. They don't want you to already know the techniques. So I drew the floor plan by myself on a piece of paper. The second part of my cafe design is a mood board because while I was on an interior design course, I learned the actual steps that you have to make to design something. The first step was to make a floor plan, which I did. The second step was to make a mood board, which I did. And then you actually start designing, but I didn't do that. But you'll see what I did. For this part of my cafe design, I felt like I didn't have enough sketches, enough furniture sketches, and I thought that the ones from my dance practice room design were very clean and very well thought out. So I thought I would make some messier sketches. And because the page was quite empty, I wrote what every piece of furniture represents and the material of every one of them. We have almost come to the end of my portfolio. This is the last step of my cafe design. The second to last step was the perspective sketch, where I actually sketched the exterior of the cafe, because I thought that from the floor plan it's not really clear what the cafe looks like from the exterior. You're not really sure that there's a window in the front and then there's a sliding glass door on the right. So I thought I would make it a bit clearer with this perspective sketch. For this perspective sketch, I didn't have any dimensions. I didn't take the dimensions from the floor plan. I just drew it with my hand and with a pencil. I didn't use a ruler. And as you can see, it's quite different from the 3D model. For the 3D model, I actually took the dimensions from the floor plan and made it exactly to the set dimensions of the cafe. And you can tell that they're quite different, especially the wall on the left. From the two videos I've watched, I heard that it is very important for you to have a 3D model in your portfolio, because I think that in a way it kind of shows that you brought a project to the end, because you actually designed what you sketched out on paper. And the last piece of my portfolio is the 3D model just captured from different angles. If you guys don't know how to make a 3D model, I basically made mine out of a cardboard box that my dad wasn't using. I sketched all the walls and all the holes that I had to punch through the walls, and I just cut them out and glued them together with a glue gun. And we have come to the end of my interior architecture portfolio. I actually made a slide writing end of interior architecture portfolio because it felt unfinished if I had left my last piece as my last slide, so I kind of wanted to end it in the way that I started it. So I guess the point of this video is that if me, an international student who decided to study interior design 3 months before she had to submit a portfolio, if I could do it, you can do it too. And I hope this video helps you in a way to figure out how to categorize everything, how to put everything together, and I hope that it gave you some sort of idea on what you have to include in your portfolio. If there's anything that I didn't mention or that I forgot to mention, please comment down below, ask me whatever you need to know. I'm here to answer all of your questions because I really want to be helpful to you guys. And one last thought, please make sure that you're not stressing yourself out too much. Make sure you have fun while making your portfolio, because it will show in your portfolio whether you're stressing out or having fun. And you know, people can really tell from the art you make or from the designs or whatever you include in your portfolio. They can kind of tell what kind of person you are. So make sure you make your portfolio about yourself, center everything else around you, because it's your story that has to be told, not anyone else's. And if there's something that you're uncertain about, do ask a friend, but don't rely on others' opinions too much. And I will see you in my next video. Bye!